I was gonna let you intro, but
Oh, no,
yeah.
you usually intro the
No,
episode. I
go
was going
ahead.
to intro
Go.
the topic.
All right, hello
I
everybody.
was just
Welcome.
looking at you just...
Well, you said you had an intro, so hello
No,
everybody.
no, no.
Welcome to the Anime Corner.
I saw this coming a mile away, and I thought, I'm going to say nothing. I just want to see what happens.
So we were just staring at each other.
Yep. My name is Slade. Find me everywhere at Slade Plays Games, except Instagram. That's Slade's Life. I'm joined by Jaka and Sky.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, and we are here to talk about a movie. If you can find it, make sure you look at anime movie Redline.
There's so many. Oh, why are there so many? I sent you a list, was it last week, while you were searching for it? I was like, the anime movie 2009 Redline, and then went through like a whole list of what not to watch, because there's like The Red Line, or Red Line, or Red Space Line. No. This is the 2009 animated fiction, science fiction film, Redline. Though I did want to start the episode off with just like, how are you guys doing? What have you been watching lately?
You and I, Sky, have mentioned it a bit, but I think both of us are watching My Dear Friend No Katan. It is fun and silly and dumb and cute, and I'm here for it. I've finally caught up Konosuba season 3. It feels like a lot of filler, but it's filler that feels like it's building, so I'm fine with it, and it's the dumb fun of Konosuba. Last thing, started back up Dangers in My Heart. The Dangers in My Heart, season 2 on High Dive. It's been fun so far.
The Dangers of My Heart. I'll write it down. You've usually got good recommendations.
Thank you.
I started watching 8686, and it's just...
So that was my Driveway Beers co-host, Will. He's the one who recommended that, and I still haven't watched it yet. He's
it's heavy. That's all I'll say. It's heavy. And I didn't realize there was a season 2, and I'm like, I'm not prepared. I'm not. But you're going to love what Jaka and I have been watching. So, the Osen newbie adventurer trained to death by the most powerful party became invincible. Really been enjoying that one. It's just silly because he doesn't realize his own power. And then Jaka doesn't like this one for the weird use of CG. It's not used in like action sequences. It's used in like dialogue scenes, which is a weird decision. Because there's ways to make dialogue scenes just easy. It doesn't have to be CG, so it's just very off-putting. The premise is interesting. It just seems very heavy-handed. It's called Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells.
Okay.
You'd hate it, Slade.
I hate the title. That's really what it is. That's what Sky's having fun with. It's when the title is a sentence. That's a problem. It's actually a run-on sentence if we think about it.
You get the whole premise of the show. Come on. That we have been enjoying on High Dive. I parry everything.
Okay, that's not what I would tell you to watch on High Dive, but I parry everything. That's what I don't do when I play Dark Souls. I'm incapable of that.
You got a shield. You got to use your shield.
No, you don't. You get an Unga Bunga cleaver and you just go to town. That's what I've been doing.
Is it the guts sword you're using?
Do what now?
Is it the guts sword you're using?
No, it's literally just a big cleaver. I can't attribute any spells or anything to it, but I've got it the +9 at the moment.
Nice.
So, in the words of a famous song from a famous video game, I am hacking, slashing, and whacking. It's a
that song stuck in my head. Yep. Just got like PTSD from all of my Fallout 3 playthroughs.
So geez. I know you said you have a problem with High Dive, and I have a High Dive subscription for a couple of shows, but what is the problem with High Dive?
So several problems. First of all, if I want to navigate to something that I've been watching, when I navigate to High Dive, the first thing that pops up is not like a series. It's just a single episode in the series.
Their search engine is awful, yes.
And when you click on the episode, you can't navigate to the rest of the episodes in the series, so you have to use their search function. And when you use their search function, the series isn't the first thing that pops up. It's 3 categories down. Why?
That's my thing.
In the episode as well, there's... Okay, well, I mean, this is like a quality of life thing, but I'm so used to it now to skip an intro. It just doesn't exist on High Dive.
No, it doesn't. So my cheat for that is I'll start like Girls und Panzers on High Dive. So I'll start typing out Girls und, and I'll see like, episode 9, whatever. And then I just scroll to the bottom and then there's the series. I'm like, great, got it. It takes you where you want to go in the first place.
But the continue watching that should be front and center of the things that I've been watching recently never contains the things that I'm actually watching currently.
Nope.
Just why?
High Dive is a bit of a headache to use, but it does have some really good exclusives. Obviously from last episode, the love of Girls und Panzer. If y'all haven't watched it, it's an isekai, and you should. But Oshinoko, it's really good.
Oh, I think you've mentioned
it's getting a season 2 at the moment. I'm kind of waiting for a couple episodes to come out beforehand. The Dangers in My Heart, that's another good one. I'd have to go back and check everything else I've watched on High Dive, but it does have some unique exclusives, and it gets different things compared to what Crunchyroll typically gets.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on it. I canceled my subscription after we watched Girls und Panzer, but
Girls Last Tour is also on there.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also I Parry Everything, which I've been enjoying.
Yeah, it's got Gate as well on that one.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Gate, that's a kind of like an isekai type one.
Vermeil and Gold. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a horny anime. That's all I'm going to say about Vermeil and Gold. So what it is, it's this guy, it's this kid at wizard school. And in class, in the first episode, they're learning how to summon familiars. Well, he summons a succubus.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
And she got big old boobas and comedy and hilarity and some actually really good fight scenes ensue. Another thing from High Dive, I don't want to sound like I'm shilling for him, but they do have some good stuff. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. That's just like a little wholesome rom-com. Nothing wild or crazy ever happens, but
it's an interesting premise. Okay.
Yeah. It just has stuff like that to me. Yeah.
Speaking of Crunchyroll, though, there was one anime. I know it's on both, but I thought, Slade, I'm surprised you haven't watched this yet. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian.
It's on my to-do list.
I was going to say, I thought that'd be because I saw a clip and went, "This is exactly what Slade would watch. I can see us watching it in the future."
It is on my to-do list. One more High Dive exclusive, which is one of the prettiest animes I've seen in a long time, is Call of the Night. Call of the Night. It's about it's about a kid. He has insomnia, so he walks around Tokyo at night and befriends a vampire. And because everything takes place at night, the lights of the city are just gorgeous in the background and everything. It's got some, and one of the neat details, because she is a vampire, is in the intro sequence. They're like she's like teaching him to dance, and they're like in a dance studio, which famously has like a big mirror wall. But when she's doing her bit, she's looking at the mirror wall, but she has no reflection.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's an interesting touch. I like that.
Yeah, it's one of the prettiest animes I've ever watched, to be honest. The intro was done by the people who did the I wish I could remember their name. They did the Mashal season 2 opening, the prim bum bum prim bum bum
no.
that everybody was memeing.
Oh god, no.
It was those guys. They did.
Please no. So a funny thing is, the woman who plays the English voice actor in that anime, Slade, is the Girls and Panzer, the anime girl who plays the tank anime with the long blonde hair. That's her. She's in both. She voices both. Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, but no, that's on my to-do list. I'm gonna watch it. Actually, no, I saw that. But so what's interesting about that is that's for the English, right? In the Japanese dub, it's one of the girls from the Russian school. The one that's always carrying Katusha. It's her. which
maybe the Girls and Panzer squad just walk around together, just taking jobs.
Hey, do you have this one? Would you recommend me? Stuff like that.
I'm sure they do that in the voice acting world.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
So we ready to move on to the main topic of the show?
Yeah. We do need to touch on what Crunchyroll recently did, though.
Oh yes, this would be the last thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not fully up to speed on this, but so Crunchyroll's gotten. I'm sure YouTube probably know a bit more because I never checked the comment section of Crunchyroll because people like to put spoilers there sometimes. But Crunchyroll's just said, yeah, no, instead of moderating our comments, we're just no comment feature whatsoever. Which I think is kind of lame, you know. But apparently the anime that triggered it was and I'm stepping around some stuff. It was like a boy love anime. I think yaoi.
I was not aware of the context of it.
Yeah.
I just know that it was gone.
On.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I heard, it was basically turning into like an Instagram, just like comment feed, and they didn't want to moderate it, is what I understand. But yeah, Jaka and I absolutely loved the comment section. We would scroll through just to see what people had commented on the episode itself, and they always had some funny takes on.
It's funny that you say that it's about the moderation, because I've been reading up that they've had an issue with their translation recently, and people in the comments were just ripping on the Crunchyroll people, saying like, you are failing at doing the basics of subtitling, and then it disappeared. Now that could have just been coincidence. I've seen it on Reddit a few times, but I didn't hear about the boy anime thing, so maybe it's a link of all three. Maybe we're just like, we're done, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that just in case I'm wrong about that. But hang on, let's see here. That made.
Just want to do a quick shout out. Habakkuk, can you stop jumping in and out of VR? It's just taking over my screen with your Steam messages going up and up and up. If you listen to this episode.
Well, they better listen to it. Yeah,
you can't trust those sharks. They don't get podcasts.
So in order to combat a wave of reviews and bombing and anti-LGBTQ plus comments that were flooded the platform in reaction to a new anime series, Out of Focus. Twilight Out of Focus is the name of it.
Huh.
Which I'm not aware of. This is not the first time this has happened. There was another one that was made by like a lot of American people that bombed really bad as well.
Wouldn't you just turn the comments off for that show, though?
That's what I would think as well. The other thing, which would be the quality of subtitles, like y'all mentioned, which is not like the first time I've seen things like that. For example, because I've read all of Chainsaw Man, I mean, I've seen a lot of translation problems just with it for what characters actually said versus what wasn't said.
And one of the biggest weird ones, obviously, because I watch the Japanese versions and listen, read the subs. But my favorite bit was obviously because the Japanese say the names backwards compared to us, and it's always weird hearing them say it backwards and reading it the other way, and it messes my brain a little bit because I'm always like, wait, is their first name that, or is it? And then you all tell me no, it's their first name's the other one. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've been calling them the thing for ages now. Like, apparently it's the family name. It's just one of those things that always gets me on subs and dubs. Yeah, and then the dubs just irritate me because I was talking to a guy at work about this. Is the reason we think I don't like the dub is that I said it was the emotional range of the Japanese actors is better because they've been doing it longer and it's more attuned to their culture. And he just went, so you just think the English versions are just cringe? I was like, yes, I do. I think they're cringe.
Yeah, there's some anime tropes that don't translate well.
Yeah, there's also some that so like sometimes dubs can be really, really good, and then sometimes they are just not great whatsoever. I would point out that like I think one of the best English dubs is Love is War is a tremendous one, mainly because they got Ian Sinclair to be the narrator, and he puts in more energy than the Japanese narrator does by a mile. But that's Ian Sinclair. He has the talent and the range, and he has just a ton of fun with that role. To the point, I would say that's my favorite character in that anime.
The narrator?
Who played the in Death Note, who played the Goblin again in Spider-Man? The original.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe played the fucking Shigenami in Death Note, the English translation, and then they got him back for that real life film they made recently.
Yeah,
and I'm just so happy that they've kept him in it because, let's be honest, him playing the Goblin and him playing that, they're basically the exact same voice. It's just him I swear he's just off his goddamn meds all the time. They said he wasn't even supposed to be in the newest Spider-Man. He just showed up in costume and started fighting Spider-Man.
I'd believe it. But then there's really bad English dubs as well. I'll give you that. For example, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in Part 5. You're voicing, what's his name? Which JoJo? Is Gino or whatever his name? Yeah, Gino Javar or whatever his last name was. I haven't watched Part 5 in a long time, obviously, but Giorno Giovanna, I think that's his full name. Anyways, in the English dub, he's talking to Bucciarati, and he's like, Bucciarati, look over there. Here are some binoculars. I think the enemy stand user is over there. And it's really bad. But this
I
is
know
like,
which scene you mean now.
yeah, this is this is like the beginning. But then another maybe 10 episodes go by, and you can tell the voice actor is really feeling the role, and he's having fun.
It's I've never really looked into, when films have the background scenes where people are like in the booth recording. I would love to see that more in anime, where you can see them like the English dubs, like them doing it, like learning the character.
There's
like the difference between love playing a character because they know it, or it's just a job.
There's one for the guy who did the English voice for the main character in Solo Leveling, and it's him saying "Arise," and you can tell he's just having fun in the booth.
Yeah, I love that clip. It's so fun.
Yeah, he's just having fun. There's some voice actors, actresses do great, some don't. I feel like English dubs can be hit or miss sometimes.
I think if you actually voice actors from England themselves, I think the accents would make it a lot fun. Like a Cockney JoJo would be fucking hilarious.
You need to watch the English dub then of season 1.
Is it that bad?
Yeah. No. So it is. They gave him a British accent. But did you watch Kids Next Door by chance when you were a kid?
Yeah.
That Cartoon Network show.
Yeah. Kids. They had the giant treehouse, made things, fought adults all the time. The same voice actress for number 1, the main character, plays the first Jonathan Joestar. It's really good. It's really good.
We've literally grown up with that voice actor.
I do find, we'll get to the movie topic here in a bit, but I do find like JoJo is such a hit or miss. Like the English dub for Part 4 is really good. Part 2 is excellent. And then Part 6 they did fine, but I think it's fine both ways. So I just think it depends on casting more than anything.
I've just realised what Sky's wearing on their t-shirt. Sorry, it's the musical of Back
to the Future, the musical.
Speaking of cars, though, let's get into Redline.
I like your segue. All right, y'all ready for my intro that I prepared? Just a little one-pager.
Compared to my intro last week of just Panzer IV.
Very, very sleepy Jaka 2 times in a row. I think we're getting.
Yep.
Oh no, I've just eaten an ice cream. My throat's like on fire from like ice burn.
Oh my gosh, you ate it too quickly, didn't you?
Yeah, you guys were yelling at me.
I heard him. He went, oh. Just went away.
All right, so Redline, 2009 animated science fiction film with over 100,000 hand-drawn frames and in production for over 7 years. Redline follows our main character, Sweet JP, on the road to winning the largest, most popular, most dangerous race in the galaxy. The movie opens with Sweet JP owing money to the mafia. It comes in second place on the yellow line, unknowingly losing a fixed race. His mechanic Frisbee had installed explosives in his car. JP makes it to the red line following qualifiers dropping out after Redline is revealed to be held on a heavily militarized robo world, and the story follows from there. So what are your thoughts?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure.
The first thing and the initial thought is it said animation is super odd, and what I wrote down was a quick just all the different things it looked like, because it looked like these animators drew a ton of inspiration from a bunch of things, which made a big melting pot. So I got JoJo, Mad Max, a little Star Wars, little Cowboy Bebop. Why a Trans Am? That was another question, but I'm sure we'll get there. And the women are drawn like One Piece women. So if you get what I mean by that, you get what I mean.
That's very accurate.
Yeah, the the JoJo was hitting hard in this as the style.
I think it's like the chiseled lines, the thick black borders. Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I'm sure Sky will get to it in a bit, which we watched after we watched this film. But to be honest, it's amazing. When you realize or find out it's drawn by hand, everything.
Yeah. I wish. Go ahead.
Go on.
No.
No,
go.
You open the door. No, you first.
I was gonna say, Sky happened to mention that before we started recording, and I'd like to. I'm amazed that they did all this by hand, but the whole movie is stylish. You know, there's never a point where the animation lets down.
No,
right?
it's like
fluid.
on like any like regular anime that you would watch, like just a day-to-day, slice of life. Sometimes you'll have more stylized frames than others, and sometimes you'll get just side mouth where the jaw doesn't move and it's just the mouth that operates. This has none of that. Every single frame has way too much detail. It was a labor of love for sure.
The animation style reminded me of another film called Dead Leaves, which I believe some of the people who worked on this actually also worked on that as well. And you can very tell by specifically like the mechs, the weapons, the explosions, that kind of style. Like, like Ghibli's got a Ghibli style and it. Each artist has their own type of like you say, JoJo, what a JoJo, anime looks like. So when you see it here again, you're like, that's weird. That looks awfully like JoJo. And you realize, oh no, wait, one of the key frame animators on this works on JoJo and also started another anime company during this. It's got some amazing things, but a long movie for what is an animation as well. Like it has also what you call the movie 3 parts. The beginning, middle, end. It's almost like 3 mini episodes melded into one amazing film. Like you could have easily cut this into 3 episodes and sent it out.
It could have almost been like a trilogy movie, to be honest, because I'm sure we'll come to it later, but there was a lot of the world that was left unexplained.
Yeah. 1,000 storylines, but yet perfectly told. Just enough information for you to get what's going on.
Yes.
Without having to over-explain like the backstory and all this, which is what I like. This is like, it's not a dumbed down Pokemon episode where it's like, the reason they used electric is because that's a water type. It's like, yes, thank you. Even children can work this out. It's rock, paper, scissors, man.
No, you get like a point where it's like, this isn't, I didn't work my ass off to win at blue line, and you're like, there's a blue line.
Yeah. It's lets the person watching it use their brain, which is good, because if you don't, you're not actually going to enjoy the multiple storylines, which are so quick and everything plays off, and it's perfect. It's like the first domino goes, and that's because they did that earlier. Oh, that's really good. I would say a multiple watch film if you can enjoy this, because there's so much going on, you can miss things. And like you say, the details, like stuff in the background you don't even realize is going on, like because you're so concentrated on the awesome explosion that just happened in front of your face.
Yeah, and there's so many little details going on, and and there's so many animation styles it seems like they pulled from. But I don't think it's a criticism or wrong in any way to say JoJo-esque.
Oh no, JoJo, Transformers, Gundam,
Neon Genesis at one point. It's
100%, yeah.
It's some of those fight scenes, like why are there fight scenes in a racing anime?
Yeah, like, and not just that though, but like you say, like you said that the anime style drawing of the One Piece women. Then I'd say you've also got a bit of JoJo kind of in there with the faces, but then Dead Leaves style, like the way they move and like smoke, and there's a lot of like drugs, smoking, but they like Akira type like blob creatures, and it's like, let's go. This world is they went, you know what, if we're gonna go bankrupt, let's just do it all. Let's do absolutely everything we can get in this. Like what was the one, hun, the transforming Power Ranger girl car where they sit in the tits?
Yeah, oh gosh, I wrote down the
Like,
names of all of the characters.
Oh,
middle of the fight turns into a transformer, and you're
yeah.
like, what is going on? Like, the only way I
Yeah,
can explain
they're
this film is Mad Max meets Wrecky Races.
I can see that. Yeah, the twins, they are. Oh my gosh, I took so many pages of notes on this movie while we were watching it.
Oh, Slade,
Uh,
we had to pause it every like few seconds.
No, really?
well,
I don't know the length of the film, but it definitely took us twice as long.
it's the film length is 102 minutes. We took about twice that, I think.
Eventually, you'll get the skill for like quick notes when doing
Yeah.
this. Yeah, it
Well, I
hits
mean,
you
like
eventually.
I wrote
My
them
quick,
down. I just
Sky,
wanted to
hold up your
have
book.
some.
Hold up the book. Show him how many notes on
Sure.
this. Just
Let's
this one film.
just this one film. One moment. We
This is the
have.
second notebook Sky's gone through in 6 episodes of this show.
Oh, I know. We haven't even done
Yeah.
that much. on
Yeah,
that.
no, it's this. It's just this much on Redline, but
Oh,
That's back-to-back
jeez.
writing.
yeah.
I've got 1/4 of a notepad document.
This is all I got. One page.
That's basically what I've got written.
I like being able to quote things as well.
Yes, I do. I do have a quote written down, but I'm sure we'll move into that with the favorite moments section of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But real
Oh, yeah.
quick, Sky, would you give us or did we get your initial thoughts? I'm sorry.
Oh, my initial thoughts. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen this movie several times. Like, it came out in 2009. I think I watched it while I was in college.
Okay.
Initially, I was just it's just a visual treat. It's honestly excuse me, a visual feast almost, because there's so much that happens. Some of the animation choices that the animators make, like, they don't always stay on model, and I appreciate that. Like, they go really big into it when, even in an opening sequence, when there's an alien that's taking a drag off of a smoke, his
Mhm.
whole head just kind of turns into a bubble, and then he blows out the smoke. And then the way that the movie portrays speed stretches everybody's model, and those are some of my favorite moments. It's just the way that the frantic stretching and ridiculous motion, and the way that they give the characters as well as the vehicles personality.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal, and just the attention to detail is just, it's too much, honestly. And I'll go into why it's too much later on the episode once we're finished it and giving some final thoughts on it. But it had a severe impact on the production studio itself.
Speaking of the stretching scene, now that we know it's completely 100 animated by hand, how the
Yeah.
hell did they? I mean, we're talking it was perfect. Like, it stretches. It's not like midway the character goes to the left and then back in the middle. It's perfect,
Yeah,
and it
I'm
makes you feel
thinking
like
about
you're being sucked into it with you, like almost like the Matrix. You know, like
yeah, I'm thinking about like the ending scene with obviously spoilers. I don't know if we said spoiler warning, but you
Oh,
clicked on this. You ought to know better.
Right. This whole series is spoilers.
So, but the end
maybe we
where
should just be
like
called the anime spoiling corner.
yeah, but the ending where it was like, oh, I'm gonna put the steam jewel or whatever in there, hit the nitrous button, and then they're like cuddled up in the one seat, and then it just gets elongated, and I'm just like, Jesus, that's so much.
It's just the whole like stretching rubber band kind of. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
fun. It's so fun. I've loved this movie since the first time I've watched it, and I've watched it several times. I think I actually own it on Blu-ray, or at least on DVD.
We should mention where we found how you watch this film at the end as well, because if you type Redline into Google, you're not going to have a fun time trying to find which film.
Yeah.
No. We should probably go over that before we get into the plot of it. I found a definitely legitimate source over on Daily Motion to watch the film, uncensored, by the way, because we'll get into that later as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's another way you could watch it through. Looks like Fandango has like an instant movie thing service that we also did not use
Mhm.
because I actually own it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I have a way to stream it through my Plex. as I've imported it into my collection, a digitized collection. But yeah, so where do you want to move next? Do you want to go into voice actors?
Let's. Can we hit with the? Have we gotten the full plot for the movie?
I gave a brief introduction. Effectively, Sweet JP owes money because he took the fall for his friend and mechanic Frisbee, who both of them basically getting into the racing world needed money. So Frisbee borrowed money from the mafia and ended up losing and owes them a lot of money. So they were imprisoned for fixing races. So they're still working together, but Sweet JP wants to basically redeem himself and actually win a race because it is just his life and his love. He ends up in the Redline by default because 2 racers dropped out because the race was going to be held on a heavily militarized world with a lot of heavy-handed fascist overtones and lots
Warhammer.
of
It was held on Warhammer World.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The machine spirit was not happy these cards were there.
No, when
Yeah.
we say that there's like 1,000 different things, like the Borg was one of the things kicking around. Like, there's so many inspirations this anime pulled from every corner.
So fun. It's so fun. And from there, like they're gearing up to get ready for the red line. At the end of the yellow line, Sweet JP's ride is busted, so he's got to work with Gramps and Frisbee to re-up his Trans Am and get it working somehow. But they end up acquiring some really fun parts. It's just the way that they animate putting it together, and like Sweet JP actually crashes the prototype. It just
Yep.
explodes and is somehow fine. It's all televised and stuff because he's one of the racers for Redline. He's got a lot of uh, paparazzi kind of watching out for him too. Yeah, the last Airmaster engine ever made with 35,000 horsepower.
Speaking of crashes, though, they seem to survive death constant. So it's like Death's on a beach, got his scythe in the dirt, reading fucking paper, and this shit's going on in the universe. He's like, I'm on holiday. I'm not dealing with this shit.
Nah, not my problem today.
Yeah, the red line being held on a militarized planet, there's a surprisingly little amount of death happening, despite the amount of missiles fired and shots fired and
Sunlight
bioweapons.
beams, like everything, mines, planes. There is chaos going on in this. What I love is like just like Wacky Races, everyone's car is just different. Like they must have gone through so much planning to have to come up with these different vehicle designs.
Yeah, we've got the Ghost in the Shell like spider tanks. We've got one that's like a mech that's like a magical girl kind of like transformation where the twins are just like the cockpit's the boobs. Another one, the main
car.
Yeah, where one of the characters is the car. Yeah, his
Oh god, yeah, the metalhead or some motorhead.
Machine Head.
You loved his music. The music on this we need to touch on as well.
Yeah,
I did. Oh my gosh. So that's the premise. Effectively, they're working towards this race that's the biggest, most televised, most money making event in the galaxy.
It's the F1 in space.
Sweet JP and his Trans Am with his pompadour and his switchblade comb make his way into the race.
We should mention the reason the machine world doesn't want the race is because they're hiding a lot of illegal military shit, and this is the most televised thing in the universe. And they're like, if they fucking come here, we're fucking screwed, man. And it's like the prime minister, he's kind of a dumb guy, really. He's just listening to his generals, and they're just like, kill them all, send everyone, send the entire planet. Like we're just we're like, but won't that tell them exactly what we're trying to hide? Shh, just do it. Send it all.
Planets. Okay, there it is. Okay, I was just trying to get some names down. Yeah, I love it. That's the premise. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to the story?
Not really off the top of my head. I do have some, like favorite moment notes, and I didn't take a look at the voice actors beforehand, but I'm noticing this is actually quite a notable cast.
Yeah. So to
Scrolling through
note,
their discovery.
I could only, I think I've only ever watched it in the English dub,
Mhm.
and I
Oh
have
yeah, we watched this English.
I did
loved
too.
the English dub. And then of course
Yeah.
after watching Critical Role, I'm like, oh yay, there's Liam O'Brien, there's Sam Riegel, and of course there's they don't even voice the main actors. I'm like, yeah, there's their names that I actually know and I've watched for a while.
Yeah. So like for our main character JP, Pete or Patrick, I think it's Sheets is how you pronounce that. Seitz.
Hmm.
But
Shit.
yeah. Well, I don't want to call him that, but I mean, people would know him as Frankie in One Piece. Would be a really good
Yeah,
one. He
I
plays
saw that a
Keith
few times.
Keith Shaddis in Attack on Titan. Um, yeah, he's just got a good
Oh,
deep
Todoroki
voice.
and Endeavor in My Hero. Nice.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he
he's
voices them as well.
This is like, if you were looking for like a star-studded, everyone nails the character like
Yeah.
in the English dub. This is probably one of the only English dubs I'll watch. Like
Sonoshi, who's like our love interest girl, she's voiced by Michelle Ruff, who you might know as Yoko. I never say this last name. Littner from Gurren Lagann.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
thing of that, it's a bit of Gurren Lagann in this as well with the digging robots. Like it's everything. Or, do you think they
Yeah.
just went to the voice actors and went, "What anime are you from originally? Put it in the show. Put it in."
Yeah, Kamakami from Persona 5, Cream the Rabbit from Sonic. She also has a really good list of characters that she's done as well. And then what I would say is our last kind of main characters, Frisbee, who's the guy kind of funding all of JP's race stuff. That's Liam O'Brien, who Gaara in Naruto, who's one of my favorite characters in Naruto. He voices Gaara, and I was trying to see if there was somebody else I noticed. Oh, and Akihiko in Persona 3.
Yeah, like say the animators on this as well. Like some of the key animators are people who've started their own anime businesses, like people who make anime. Like one of the key animators on this started his own business as well, and he's like made shows that we know of. I forget the name, but I was talking to Sky about it when we finished watching the film. And it's like some of the things he's made. You're like, holy crap! He made like the guy who made these did key because sadly I don't know if we mentioned it. The reason like this got the company shut down, wasn't it, Sky? Like it.
Well, yeah, I wanted to discuss that later on the episode, but we can do it now. It took 7 years to develop and took so much manpower and was so poorly received when it was first released that Studio Madhouse went bankrupt.
I mean, I could see why with the amount of detail and work that went in those. You have an all-star cast. You have all these hand-drawn frames. That's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was bought out by Nippon Studios in 2011. So Madhouse still exists, but in just kind of a different form. And one of the founders of Madhouse left. I think I've written down Murayama left Madhouse after the bankruptcy, and he formed Mappa.
Oh wow!
Yeah. The I'm surprised it got such a bad reception after release because the film is great. It's really good.
Initial release, maybe bad timing, or maybe not enough marketing. There's so many reasons for it, but it's received a cult following since.
Yeah,
I wonder when it got released in theaters in Western. Maybe it was released when another film had come out or something, and that kind of took away from it. I know a lot of people when they hear animated films, if it's not Disney back then or Pixar and stuff, kind of on the back burner. If it's not Studio Ghibli, people go, "Well, who's this company?"
Yeah,
which is sad, really, because we rarely get animated films. Like I know, was it Slade? You went to see some at the cinema, and you said 3 people were there.
Yeah, so I went to see the quintessential quintuplets movie at my local theater, and I was one of 3 people.
What were the other people again? The other 2 what, on a date, was it?
Yeah, they were on a date, and I sat right behind them.
Whole empty theater. Man sits behind them.
Because
Slade, you are the embodiment of evil.
I knew it'd be funny. Well, I don't think I bothered him too much because at the end of the movie, the guy turned around, looked at me, and he goes, "Is that how you expected it to end?" And I was like, "No, not really."
Well, it's maybe a brief future look there into that film if we ever watch Slade's opinion.
Yeah, it is a movie.
Best girl didn't win then.
No, best girl did not win.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I just wanted to touch on that because it's sad that movies don't really get like the reception they should get.
Well,
I mean, obviously the slow burners,
so like,
which
but
over
I went.
time get a cult following.
I think it's better. I think it just kind of depends. Like, I went to see the JJK movie when it was in theaters. It was packed. It was a full theater. So I don't know if the Quince is a little more niche or what, but
Well, it's like you see like Spirited Away, huge release. It was huge everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. They were like, massive film just come out. You know, Stu Ghibli, and everyone's like, yeah. But then there's Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Barely anyone here watched it.
Yep.
In England, I remember people going, "Are you going to theaters?" Like, nah, I just watch it at home. Because when it really comes down to it, anime people, let's be honest, a lot of us don't go outside.
I would also rather watch it on my couch or
yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
VR has. If a lot of people talk about what's killing the film industry, let's be honest, it's VR.
No, I think it's just the film industry killing the film industry.
Oh yeah, they're stabbing each other in the back constantly. But being able to sit with your friends all over the world in a VR setting, and you can mute the guy talking.
Yes.
And it's the size of, you can have it the size of the planet if you goddamn want the screen to be that big. If you want this cinema experience, they have cinema experiences. Now, is it exactly the same? No, it's better because I can go to the toilet and there's not a queue.
The
1,000 people.
snacks.
That's also
the snacks are cheaper.
Yeah, snacks are a lot cheaper. I don't have to sneak alcohol in. That's the other half of it.
I think the only sad thing is I think kids will miss when cinemas eventually shut down. They will miss that kind of funness that when you're a kid. I think being a kid, it's better at the cinema because you don't realize all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's more of an
device. It's something you should do as a kid, and then as you get older, you realize, oh god, no, it's 12 quid for you. It's like $15 for you, child. It's 60 for me.
All right, let me try to rein in this conversation. What's your favorite moments of this movie?
Okay, so Jaka, you want to go first?
I've got one. It's the best one.
All right, go on.
Beyblading car across the damn water.
Yeah.
when he puts the gold nitro in his car, spins so fast because the energy of the car, he actually skips like a stone across the damn water and somehow catches up. Because even though he's not really putting all that speed into one direction, it's the most ludicrous, but it's again hand animated. Insane scene. I love that.
It's so fun.
There's some great bits in this show, like the ending with the big spaceship coming out of the underground to make the finish line.
Yeah,
the last scene itself, the whole last scene.
The princess of Planet Supergrass teleported their main carrier ship underneath the Robo World headquarters to create a ramp that was to be the finish line for the race.
Yeah, just any time there's like interaction between races, I always thought was great because like even though they're next to each other, they can still hear each other talk and they're yelling things at each other. And like
there's just banter, you know.
There's always a missile fired at the end of their banter. There's always some sort of weapon fired.
It felt like an old Call of Duty lobby when they're yelling at each other.
Yeah, my gosh. They all seem to be friends and it's weird because at the end, like they're all happy. Like even though they lost, none of them are angry. They're all just like, "Yeah, that was a great race," and this entire planet is on fire. Like, there are two giant monsters still fighting over in that canyon over there, and nothing. Like it's never talked about again. You're like, what? What about Joy Boy and the giant weird whale that came out of the ground? Funky Boy, like, what's going on over there? Like, sorry, I watched One Piece earlier. So what? They just. Some scenes, it's like giant monster for like 10 minutes gone. No, it's still going on. We don't care about it anymore. We're watching the race. I bet you they could make other films based on other plot points in this film and just
Oh,
have the
100%.
race be a secondary thing in the background.
They could.
One of my favorite moments, and you basically touched on it, was during one scene of dialogue. They had fired missiles at each other, and Sonoshi basically rolls down her window, pulls out a handgun, and shoots a missile out of the air.
The Slade maneuver, I call that.
Yeah.
What about you, Slade?
Just why?
So I have 3 things written down for favorite moment because I'm gonna go in reverse order. So in capital letters, you can tell when I wrote these. Capital letters, it just says titties.
Yeah, there's boobs. This is
I was
not
I was not
for
expecting
children
that.
film. If you're trying to keep nudity out, but
You've probably been hinting at that all this time with that.
I have.
I didn't write titties was a blind side by you then. I
even showed you my notebook. You probably could have caught it, but in capital.
He actually spelled it titties as well. Oh god.
I want to point out that I noticed in this watch through that she is making a comment about the interview that she did.
Yeah.
The cameraman pans over to basically her leaning into the hood of her car, so it's a nice big old picture of her butt. She's like, "Really, guys? Nice." And then it pans over to her with her shirt and everything off.
Yeah,
Just
she's topless.
just real
Yeah.
heavy-handed with it.
So the other thing was there was a bit in the movie where we talked about the very fascist and authoritarian police state that is RoboWorld. And there's this whole bit where they're placing bets and everything. And there's all these different creatures doing it. And then, the drone shows up to say, "Go away. You need to disperse. Gambling is not allowed here." And then just starts like squishing people.
The angel drone, yeah.
Yeah, and the fart noise when people blew up really made me laugh for a minute. I had to pause the movie because it was. And this is early on. There's a family watching the first race. You know, when you find out JP is going to RoboWorld, and the mom says, and I had to write this down, "This is the only thing that gets me hot anymore." While the whole family's sitting there, like eating breakfast or whatever.
The ones with all the things in their heads, the TV watching families. Got all the things. So I thought you meant that. And I'm going to swear a lot here. That fucking kid with the camera. The first scene.
5 seconds of the film.
No. So, but no, just the mom. She's sitting there. It's like her husband, the 2 kids. They're all sitting there at the table, and it's the announcement. And then she just says, "Oh, this is the only thing that gets me hot anymore." I about died laughing.
Some of the non sequiturs, just one off. Just where the fuck did that come from? You know?
Yeah, and then they just keep eating. And then it cuts back to the rest of the movie, and you're like, "What happened?"
Yep. It's like the announcer. It's like I'm tweaking.
I'm tweaking right here.
It's so
I'm gonna shit my pants.
It's just the bit when he buys cigarettes and that old woman is just out of her goddamn mind, and he's just like, "What is going on?"
But,
it's like, you don't
later you see her in the movie, and she's like, "I want to be on JP." It's like, what?
It's so weird. It kind of makes me feel like, do you remember? Was it Phantom Menace when they did the pod racing? Like someone watched this film and went, "I want to do that," and then completely failed, like doing what they wanted.
I want to do that, but I also want to do this, and I want to do that, and then I also, that's what this feels like.
This film, like the explosions, when usually like you have an explosion, it's fire and dust, and they go for like big explosion. I believe Slow Mo guys did one where they put dynamite underwater.
Yep.
And they showed this like the bubble formations. And then in the film Solo, the director used their idea to make the explosions look like, instead of being fire and like dust, almost fluid like in explosions. And this animation, all the explosions are not just like Dragon Ball Z explosions. These are fluid bubbles, like you see it, instead of just being like an explosion, it builds and explodes, almost like the Studio Ghibli style when the lasers fire and it hits, and then for a second it kind of builds up, then explodes.
I was gonna say it's more to me like the Evangelion style, where it's like you see the shot, there's like a little light, and then it just
then
expands.
Like it's almost like like when you see someone get injected with a serum and their body expands and then they explode. Like it does that to the floor. Like it melts the into lava and then it explodes out. And you're like,
I'm surprised
that was animated by hand.
I'm surprised it's only 100,000 frames. It should be a lot more.
Just over. It wasn't exactly, but yeah.
Just it should be a lot more.
Yeah, it's 100,001 actually. It's the official.
Yeah,
that could have taken some frames.
The disintegrator cannon explosion was fantastic. Yeah, it just gave it impact. Oh my gosh. And what was it? Funky Boy? That fight with Funky Boy. Oh my god, just weird. It's so weird. Just a fleshy amalgamation and explosion and just the sound design on those pieces too. Like the sound that Funky Boy made before. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot going on with the sound design, honestly.
Yeah.
We've talked about voices, but we need to hit on the music and the sound design because it makes the film, I think.
Some of my favorite bits are just like the one-off, just like a Redline theme, or it just says Redline. It's thematic. Machine Head. They didn't have to, but they went hard on it.
It kind of brings a level of character, like uniqueness to each character, though, because each of them are so unique. It's like almost like title cards in anime, when it kind of cuts like adverts and they have like the main character come on the screen with their name. Yeah. They do that for this, like, and character intro, middle of the film, just like Machine Head, and it carries on. You're like, what the hell was that? Like,
yeah. But that's a lot of this movie is going, well, what the hell was that just happened? That really is a lot of this film.
The visual feast.
But there's like, but you're right. In the middle of the movie, they're like, here's this character. And in this, he is a badass motorcycle cop who doesn't take any shit from the law, And it's just like, okay. And then the next one is literally like, hi, we're two hookers.
Angels,
I guess. Yeah.
No, they're the twins from Planet Supergrass.
I don't like that they're twins. I'm not comfortable with that.
They're really close.
They're really close. Oh, really? Yeah. Really? I had noticed that they're really close, Sky. Thank you for pointing that out.
You got to remember, though, like, I think part of those scenes, it's supposed to be the Redline, like, show. Almost like we're watching it from the camera's point of view.
Yes.
Like, they're doing the interviews and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, obviously the scenes we see with the main characters, that's all like us watching the story. But when it's all just the actual driving and stuff, it feels like we've just been taken along for this because it's never just Sweet Pea. We're watching everyone race. And I feel like we should have a map with their locations on this world because I am lost. One guy's underground, he's digging. Why? No one knows.
Somebody's underground. Someone else has like shot a grappling hook out and got the wall and yanked themselves across. And it's like,
each
what are we doing?
Has its own character. They like some fly, some like we've got a Trans Am. Just
Yep. It's a Pontiac Trans Am. What else do you need to know?
Yep. And for some reason, Gory Rider, the dirty cop, is just he just ends up underground. He literally says, "Where the hell am I?" And he's the one that breaks open the Funky Boy containment.
Yeah, and you've got some miners who are like they dig on this planet. Obviously, like they're like the lower class, and then they've been paid off to break Funky Boy out. So there's a slight war going on in the background between the drones and them.
And there's like a bit with the government. They're just like, oh, we can't do that. That violates the peace treaty. And you're like, well, what peace treaty? What are we doing?
What are you talking about? Like, oh, by the way, we have that giant satellite in the sky that can like fire a laser down and wipe out basically a planet. Isn't that supposed to be hidden? It's self-defense at this point. And it's like, oh, why isn't it firing? Someone took the battery out, and then it quickly cuts to two of the racers taking the battery out going, we need to do this to race. And he's like, why? He's like, don't ask questions. We need to do it. It's like,
because Redline paid him off because the powers that be just knew all of RoboWorld's military secrets already.
Yep. Yeah, they already knew everything. They're like, we know everything. Like, I mean, a whole point, which is funny because the whole point is they're trying to hide their military secrets, but keep using them to hide their military secrets. It's like it is the Empire of Man from Warhammer, basically. It's like, don't use the giant titans; it'll be stolen. What did you do? I used the giant titan. It's like, you idiot. But just beautifully animated for the each scene. Like nothing's taken, like you say, like Slade said earlier. Nothing's taken away. And the sound design they use for the cars, the missiles, the guns. Like when you're in the Trans Am and he throws the nitrous in, and it stretches. Like the sound is like, how would you pull that off? Like I want to know how they got those sounds down.
It's definitely a good one for sound design. If you have like really good quality headphones or like really good speaker system, you're gonna notice so much more going on.
Imagine this in surround sound.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking about. It would be great. But we have talked a lot of hype about this movie. But the next thing in the running order is the worst bit of it, which I'm kind of interested to hear.
I only have one. Like the rest of the film's fine. There's only one thing for me. It's that first 5 minutes in that kid with the camera. Just take the shot with the goddamn camera and stop talking about it. That child.
It's just a common trope of a kid just being really excited and his dad being clueless about how to operate the camera. It is frustrating.
It's his camera.
Yep.
It's just...
But the thing is, they were trying to capture a moment that was like fractions of a second as the drivers went by.
It just filled me with an uncontrollable rage. The kid's voice, the way he acted, even Sky was like, calm down. I was like, no, I hate this kid.
It's the first 5 seconds of the movie.
I can understand why
people... It is super obnoxious. It is super obnoxious.
If people went to see this film and that was all they saw and they left, I can understand it.
Yeah.
I can understand. They just went for
more than 10 seconds.
I don't know, that kid. Oh.
I have two problems.
You have two problems. Okay.
I have two. So first one is finding the movie.
Yeah.
Finding the movie is problem number one. Actually, I'm gonna say I have three problems, and I'll get into the third one later on in our running order. But I'd like a little more world building, right? Because you get some flashbacks and things like that. And I know you're trying to do all this in a certain amount of time. Obviously, you'll never get another one because studio's defunct and everything. But some things I think could use a little more context. Like in one of the flashbacks, you could have shown like a blue line race, you know what I mean, or a yellow line. I think in a flashback scene you could have done that, or instead of cutting to what I said was one of my favorites, when the family was sitting there eating and the mom makes that really funny statement. You know, you could have used that for something like that. You could have skipped the dining scene that really goes nowhere, adds nothing, other than to show the Rebel World people are dickheads. They're kind of obviously dickheads, and a lot of the movie shows that. You could have shown some other stuff for some more world building, because there's a lot in this world, and there's not enough flushed out, I don't think.
Yeah, it's almost like you're starting the film midway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they must have taken that choice just for time.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
I'm sure they could have carried on.
But I think you could have made some script changes to give people more of the world and add more to the characters and give you some more background. I think in that time slot, you had the opportunity.
They did a little, kind of almost like it was like like there was always this thing between Sweet Pea and what's the love interest?
Sweet JP.
Yeah, JP. What's the?
Not your nickname for Sky. It is Sweet JP. The name of the
Sky's
character.
Bunny. The what's the love interest's name again? The one who drives the hovercar.
Sonashi.
Like there's always like this weird flirting thing with both of them, and then near the end of the film, flashback to them as kids, and you're like, what? And then it cuts away. You're like, what was that?
I just realized what her last name is, and I'm annoyed.
Is it P?
No, it's McLaren. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed now.
That's really good.
That's like a JoJo reference kind of joke. Maybe they did take a bunch of inspiration.
JP's last name is Punkhead.
That's the same thing you call Porsche drivers. So, Sky, do you have any problems with this movie?
Honestly, this is the peak of all animation for me. This is like
that's a fair statement.
I have no complaints.
Not one. There's nothing in this film you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
To me, it doesn't
like that child.
To me, it doesn't have to make sense. Some of the things that are just kind of explained away, or like the fight between Funky Boy and the metamorphosized Colonel Voltan.
Right.
I didn't really need to have closure with that fight, like because we're not watching a kaiju film. We're watching Sweet JP and his love interest Sonoshi and his love for the race and his need to win, and a bit of redemption for him as well because he needed to. Basically, he needed to win something, but he also needed to free himself from the mafia, and that was one of my favorite parts. Is how Gramps just kind of falls in and saves Frisbee just because he wants to, help
JP to
JP.
JP to actually win, but Frisbee also wanted JP, and there's more with Frisbee we could have built on as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
There's
I feel like it's all packaged
in-passing
together
comments.
really well. I don't think that I think that some of these things the things that we do get closure on are important ones. For the sake of the storyline, for the sake of the film, but I don't need closure on some other things. Like I don't need to know more about Robo World. I don't need to know more about, Planet Super.
You know it all. They showed it all.
Yeah. So honestly, I've got no complaints about this one.
Okay.
I think the major complaint for me is I'm sad that they shut down the studio because they could have made so many more things. Like I would have loved to see Redline 2, and it's on a different world. And
yeah, this I have in here. This could easily have been a trilogy. Easily.
I understand though, like if it hand drawn, it's
yeah.
Sadly,
you're asking a lot.
You probably won't ever get a film like this again.
Yeah.
With the use of CGI now and AI, I think it'll be a long time till we see anything like this. Like Disney, like it's all CGI now as well. Yep. Or AI, they're using AI to write the goddamn scripts. It's just sadly like this is like probably one, if not the only, like you'll probably see in our lifetime. I'm sure there are some out there, but for this length, stylization, and just how good it is.
I will say that if you want more content like this, there is a prequel that came out in 2003 called Trava Fast Planet.
I was gonna say, is it called Blue Line? Because that Slade's head would explode.
No, it's called Trava Fast Planet, and it actually has some of the characters in Redline. It was an anime OVA.
I wonder if it gave it like the idea for this film.
4 short segments, each approximately 10 to 12 minutes long.
That might be if the film was hard to find. God damn.
Sorry, Trava Fist Planet.
Fist Planet.
All right.
We'll have to look that up, see if we can find it.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a I don't know how we can find it because I know it was really hard to find Redline. I don't know how to find this one. If I do find it,
we can probably find it. It's got to be out there somewhere. Please, anyone listening, if you know where it is, let us know. We watched it in English. You watched it in English just too.
Yes, I did.
I think that's the only way that we can find it.
Yeah, you say you haven't watched it in Japanese then? Because it's got to be out there in Japanese. I wonder.
Oh,
somewhere I'm sure, but not nowhere.
Thankfully, this isn't like a lost media movie. It takes a bit of digging, but you can find it.
Yeah. It'll probably be on like a DVD or something we'd have to find.
Like I say, good choice. Good solid choice. For our first movie is probably one of our best ones we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
this is a good movie.
If we don't have any other notes on I think we've hit all of our major points that we wanted to make. Do we have any final thoughts on it?
Here's the thing, and I've been racking my brain with this because I've been trying to figure out if I liked it or not the whole time. It was a fun watch, and it was exciting at times, and it was nonsensical. And I think the fact that I have to say that it was fun and I had fun, I got to give it a recommend, and you should go hunt it down. Definitely on a legitimate site like Dailymotion to watch it. Now, I don't know if it's for everybody. I think you could, like Jaka said, skip that first 5 minutes with the kid and his dad not figuring out a camera in this tech age modern space. It's 12 minutes. So
12 minutes.
Yeah, but I would recommend it. I just, like I said, it racked me for a while. Like, did I actually enjoy that? Was that just nonsensical fun? And I think that's really what it is.
Imagine, I think it's weird because obviously Sky's seen this many times. it's my second time watching this because I believe one of the first times I watched it, one of the first times we hung out, we watched this film.
It may have been in VR that we found it so easily.
I think that's where we watched it. But rewatching it now with kind of remembering what it was in the back of my head and getting to like see other things I wasn't really looking out for, especially like in the guise of a podcast. I forgot how insanely fun it was, and it is fun. And how often do you watch a animated film at the end and you're like, that was, good music, fun, entertained.
Yep.
I found one thing wrong with it, and that was just because I hated the kid's voice actor. And it was only not, like you say, it's only a few minutes, but I definitely recommend it. But if you like Mad Max, you liked Wacky Races as a kid, if you like high octane anime with amazing animation, fluid scenes, and let's be stellar voice cast.
Yep.
Which for a dub we rarely get. You can't. I mean, what we say, an hour and a bit, was it?
It's like hour two. It's like an hour half. It's like an hour.
You can't.
It's an hour and 2 minutes.
You can't.
Or, no, excuse me, 102 minutes. Excuse me. Yeah, it's about an hour.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
sorry. Did I watch the extended cut and I didn't know?
The hell?
102
like you
minutes,
can't.
sorry.
I mean, if you could rewatch 3 YouTube videos, or you could try something different and try this film out if you can find it. And good luck. What do you think, Hun?
I will recommend this to anybody that wants to get into anime, that wants to watch a fun movie just in general. I try to get this out there as much as I can because everybody that I've shown it to has loved it, and I've loved it since the first time I've watched it. Highly recommend it, personally.
Yeah, that's for our first movie that we're reviewing. I think this is a great pick, if I'm honest.
Whoever picks the next movie is screwed.
Speaking of,
nope.
Are we getting better? Can you tell?
we're getting it. Your mic has sounded great this whole time. I don't want to jinx us.
I changed my settings. So.
Again.
And he's also speaking directly into it. It's not on the other side of the room.
Apparently, you're not supposed to have your microphone over there. It's supposed to be here.
So, Jaka, in a month's time, what are we watching?
I don't know, Slade. What are we watching? It's your choice.
Oh, is it my choice? Fuck.
Is it Girls and Panzer, Redline?
Oh shit! I thought it was. I thought it was you. Oh no! I thought it was you.
God, he's gonna bring out the D4 again.
I could pick a movie if you want.
No. We're gonna bring up the D4. We're gonna do this live. I'm looking at my Annie list.
Oh God, no! It's gonna be goddamn vending machine.
Don't jinx it.
Vending machine is gonna be down.
Oh, God. Can you put that at number 5?
No, it's number 1 on the list. I'm gonna put Licorice Recoil back on here because I think y'all will love that one. It's great. I'm also, when I do pick these things, I try to pick things that are subbed and dubbed to try to appeal to the majority of the people I think that are out there.
I just pick classics. I think everyone will like.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair to do.
I have no clue what the next one's going to be, by the way. I think I've got one in my mind.
Got one in there?
Is it?
Yeah. No, God, no. I don't think they could do Meshul.
I've heard good things, but I don't know about that. And
it's Harry Potter One Punch Man.
That is exactly the description.
On here, I've got four animes. Number 1 is the vending machine anime that we've been threatening for 6 episodes.
Don't
Licorice Recoil, which is really good. Call of the Night. So I'm gonna make Sky go back on that high dive thing. Let's see if we can get you in on something.
I gotta resubscribe. Okay.
And the last one is I don't know if I can press y'all into this, but let's see what happens. The Girls and Panzer DOS finals. Maybe we can watch 1 or 2 of those.
I need to find the order.
Actually, what we need to do, because in the correct order, we need to watch the movie first. So
let's just
it'll be another movie.
We may have seen that already.
We have watched the movie. It's the finals.
Yeah, so Girls und Panzer DOS Final will be number 4.
Can I just say how disappointed I'd be if Girls and Panzer loses and the goddamn vending machine wins?
Leaving its chance.
I want to see the role.
The roll's happening.
Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. It's number 4. It is. So we're going to be watching Girls Ohne Panzer Das Film.
Panzer! The vending machine has been kept away for another 2 times.
All right, so we will see everybody in a month's time for Girls Ohne Panzer Das Film.
What if I threw in a wrench and I picked the vending machine movie?
Wow. I mean, just to get it over with, you could.
Just to get it, I like threatening you with it every time we finish it.
So, to be honest, the vending machine one is better than the fucking final frame we've been watching. Because the vending machine one is animated.
I'll have to show you some stills, Slade.
We will take a look at them. But for now, let's get our plugs and let's get out of here. Sky, you hosted. Why don't you send us off with yours?
Sure. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter. I will not call it anything else at Skylar_Bun. If you just want to subscribe to me and see some cute things reposted, that's all I do on there.
Yeah, you can find me at UK Jaka on pretty much anything. Mainly on Steam if you want to play some games. Helldivers is kind of taking a fall. We need some more divers.
You're also obsessed with Guild Wars 2 recently.
Yeah, I don't know why. Guild Wars 2 just came out of nowhere. Oh, also, let us know what you got on the Steam summer sale.
I didn't buy anything.
What?
I didn't. So you can find me everywhere at Slade Plays Games, except Instagram. That's Slade's Life.
Just dropped a bombshell and just carried on like it was nothing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that post-recording. But thank you all very much for listening. We'll see you in a month's time.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.